closed tight. I must be careful to avoid attention. I should find a way to get rid of the nurses so I may quietly move about this floor and speak with the patients.
Who are you? You are not the nurse. Give them to me. I beg you.
What do you need?
Small pink crystals, please. In the laboratory.
Here is your medicine. Now, please, if I could just ask you a few questions.
They must be dissolved in water.
Water?
Yes, there is some in the garden.
Here it is, my friend. You must tell me where.
Make the male nurse leave, and I will tell you anything you want.
All right, where is the key to the aviary?
The mad girl. Bring her doll to her. She knows.
I should find a way to get rid of the nurses so I may quietly move about this floor and speak with the patients. Look who is here to see you, miss.
Heidi! Heidi! You are here! The bad men took you away, but you came back.
Heidi told me she wanted to come back to you. She also told me that you know how to free the kind birds from their cage.
Bad men took Heidi away. They said I was a bad girl because I cut off the head of that nasty brute. But he started it. He was bad first.
He did terrible things, this bad man?
Oh, yes. He came in the night for us. He took Heidi and I to his room, near the birds. And he was very, very nasty with me. He had the key to the bird's house and said if I wasn't a good girl, he would send them away. I didn't like that, because Heidi loves the birds.
So, my child, the key to the birdhouse is upstairs in his room?
Yes, it's there. Now the lady lives there, but I am not allowed to see the birds anymore.
Thank you very much.
What is that, Heidi? Oh, you want to thank the gentleman. And you have a present for him. What a sweet girl you are. Oh, I agree. Heidi wants to thank you and says to tell you a secret. When I cut the bad man's head, she didn't want him to ever come back. So she hid the key in her belly.
We are in your debt, young lady, and our humble thanks to you, Heidi.
Heidi, child of the mountains.
Fraulein Muller does not seem particularly gifted. Truly, art in the blood can take the strangest forms. This splendid macrame design is protecting the bottle. Macrame, a healthy occupation for modern women, by Kalipigi Mubala Smith Papadopoulos. And look at this, it is a signed edition. A lovely piece. I must say it's the highlight of this exhibition, but I dare say it shall prove useful. This must be the key to the aviary.
The door to the birdcage is open! Help us!
The birds have escaped! Quick! Catch them! Catch them!
Thanks to the panic, all the nurses will be elsewhere, as Bauer would say. While the guards are busy trying to catch the birds, I should use the opportunity to search the rest of the asylum. It is necessary to get this dragon to leave, so I can freely examine the kitchen. Perhaps if I can create smoke, she will go into a panic and leave, thinking there's a fire. Following the unintentional fire caused by uninspired staff members, I made the decision to forbid access to the kitchen and dining room to all staff, other than Frau Mayer and myself. I encourage all personnel to read Dr. Blensmoth's book. When you finish with it, please leave it here for your colleagues, Dr. Gyjax. Potash, the perfect ingredient for creating smoke. Here now, I must take care to measure the precise dose. And there, it is done. Here is the bottle with adequate water. I must calculate its capacity as accurately as possible if my smoking apparatus is to work. Now I know the exact capacity of the bottle. My smoking device is ready. I must say, a room filled with smoke shall be difficult to examine, but there is no other way. truss for roast beef. The attendant is gone.
Ah, I'm very glad. But you are not an attendant?
No, my good man, I am not. I arrived from London to investigate private charges of embezzlement against this establishment.
You came all the way from London? Why would anyone choose to come to this God-forsaken place?
Indeed, I have just arrived from London and my reasons will soon be clear. Listen to me. I know you do not belong here. You are not mad, merely the victim of a trap that only the most expert specialists could untangle. More importantly, you are the only person here who can give me the information I require. If you could speak with me, assuming your pain has not returned, I would be in your debt.
But who are you?
Someone who could guarantee your freedom once my objectives are secured. But I have little time, and you must listen to me carefully. Did you hear the staff or other inmates speak on any suspicious activities other than the horrible mistreatment you have all suffered at the hands of the staff?
You are from English customs, then. You must be interested in the arrival of illegal foreign lunatics in your country.
What makes you say this?
Well, some time ago, they removed all the foreigners from their cells, and they were never seen or heard from again. Perhaps they were shipped into your country without the usual formalities?
Those foreigners, where did they come from?
I don't know exactly, because oddly, they never associated with the rest of the inmates. They arrived regularly, 1 or 2 fellows per month.
Most peculiar. Did they speak among themselves?
I could hear them trying to talk to one another, but it seemed as if they couldn't understand each other, as if each spoke a different dialect. Also, none of them seemed mad in the least. And then there was one other odd event. They were downstairs, and it was shortly before their departure. I strained to hear them, and could barely make out their conversation. This time, they all seemed to speak the same language, and what is even stranger, they seemed to be saying the same thing repeatedly.
You must rest now, but don't lose hope, as I am here to help. I am afraid I must leave you now.
If you need to know other information, you can see me when you like.
This is meant to be used by 2 people, and here I am alone. What should be done? I have to create a system to use this lever in distance. The only solution is to find a method allowing me to lower this external lever when I am between the 2 gates. These levers are well oiled. And there, it is done.
Three times 3 is 9. 2 times 5 is 10.
Pardon me, sir. Could I trouble you for some information?
Nasty, nasty cheat. I shall say nothing to you. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24. I shall speak only to Professor Schwartz. He understands that I have learned all my lessons. 3 times 9 is 27.
Apparently he will speak only with this professor. Perhaps the medical files on this man Wolf will be helpful. There should be a passageway leading from one side to the other of this wall. Perhaps someone here knows something about it. This door is quite solidly built, but the lock is rudimentary. Never again will I go out on a case without a small spoon at my side, though likely Watson would envy me this valuable implement. This well must empty directly into an underground river. My God, there is a body inside. I am glad I spared Watson this horror. This place conceals deeds far more sinister than the mere traffic in dangerous goods. The sawdust on this soil was recently disturbed. Someone was searching for something here. These are the tools of a butcher. Who could have forgotten this? The Worship of Ghouls by Count d'Erlette. I do not think this book would give the reader pleasant dreams if reserved for bedtime reading. I don't know what this Gygax studied, but judging by his office and what I saw before, he is more dangerous than any of his patients. This man seems to suffer from every possible mental affliction. Judging by the date of his admission, he must be one of the oldest patients here. The former hospital director researched his case and mentions Wolf's professor. Apparently, he was the only person of influence with the poor fellow. There is even a portrait of the late professor included in with the reports. So this is Professor Schwartz. I need a name to continue my research. A cable from New Orleans sent in the last few weeks. If the shipment of these goods from New Orleans relies upon a transfer of funds from Europe, it is possible the actual exchange won't take place for a few weeks. There may still be time to intervene. There's a small label that says classroom. Closed tight. Hold on, there is an oily stain on this letter. It smells of iodine. Interesting. Unbelievable. These letters are from various Swiss banks and show that the doctor made several sales of precious stones over these last months, and each time for higher profit. He must have access to a real treasure. I see numerous transfers were made to an account holder in the Bank of London and another in a bank here in New Orleans. I must take note of these transactions. Oh my God! The faint signs remaining on this blackboard are in phonetics. It appears that people were forced to recite some text with no real understanding of its meaning. It's a pity that the text was erased. I feel great pity for the patients who must have been tied to this machine. What's this? A battery with a crank starter. No doubt used to stimulate his patients. A notebook detailing the experiments conducted by Mr. Végigjátszás. These birds are from the aviary. They served a purpose beyond mere decoration. I believe I'm close to finding what I need. Do you know this man downstairs, the one perpetually reciting his multiplication tables?
Yes, he is Wolf, but you will get nothing from him. He will only speak with one man, this Professor Schwartz, but I believe he died a long time ago.
Perhaps the medical files on this man Wolf will be helpful. It must be used to punish insolent pupils. Slightly excessive. Who is this anonymous patient? Perhaps there is a file on him, as with the other patients. This should prove useful. And now time to become the good Professor Schwartz and pay a visit to Wolf. Ah, here's the file I was seeking. It can only be our mysterious patient. What a strange character.
So, Wolf, I see you have mastered your lesson. Splendid.
Professor Schwartz?
I congratulate you, Wolf. I cannot say the same about your other classmates. I am most unhappy with their behavior, because it seems they have been cheating.
Professor Schwartz, you saw them, didn't you? I know my lessons. I always work so hard, and the others, they crib from me.
I know, my boy, I know. But their leader, he is a doctor, isn't he?
Yes, Professor, yes. He is the most vile member of the group. Sometimes he tries to keep me from my lessons. He says he will treat me like the others who don't speak like us and who scream so very loud when he punishes them. But I keep to my lessons and recite my tables all the day. He can't stop me.
That's good, my boy. You have made me proud. Now, I need your help. Where do they meet? I must find them and make sure they get the punishment they so rightly deserve.
They meet over there, but it is well hidden and only the doctor has the code. First, he makes noise with the fire near his office. Afterwards, he makes noise with the fire in front of me. And then he makes noise behind me. You will see he does not know his lessons.
Thank you, Wolf. That's a clever boy. You have earned high marks this term, but for now you must try to recite your lessons in silence. Since I am the professor, I know and see everything. There is never a need to shout.
As you say, Professor Schwartz.
I don't need it anymore.